Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Dragonsportslive. I'm Dante Payne, your host for this evening. And let me shed this cap off my head because it's a little bit hot. But yes, all I gotta say is welcome to another edition of Dragonsportslive. I got an exciting show for you guys. I got new music on the way. And if y'all wonder what I'm doing, I'm trying to figure out where my brush is at, because I got like an alfalfa going on with my head. Alright, there we go. We good. So yeah, had a whole alfalfa going, so I was just trying to rectify the situation and fix that, but I'm all good now. But yes, like I said before, welcome. We gonna get into our baseball spiel. We're going to get into our football spiel. We definitely going to get into our basketball spiel because big things happen. We finally got a blockbuster trade, and we also got some signings. But what better way to start off the day? We're going to start off with some new music. Now, you might want to check this young dude out. This guy can blow. He got bars. His name is Black Sam for those who don't know him. Check him out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. And I always gotta say is rock with it. But this song that you about to listen to is named Moses. So let's check it out. Here on Dragon Sports Live. And y'all can find me on iHeart, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts as well. Check it out.
Yeah. White people less apprehensive when I'm in the mind clear. Something I recently noticed. The 12s to stop me is bogus. Say they either jealous or filling their quotas. Phone them pull up in the Lotus. Is carrying my coated. He puffing, I'm potent. The seat is a low. Said go, I could tell by the slowness. He totally loaded and trying to stay focused. I-55 is swollen. He step out the whip. The get niggas rolling. He finish a split from crush it with force on the ground. I think that he trying to be Moses. Cartier lens, attending with roses. Maybe that's why I'm not tweaking about the thrombosis. Sitting in the passenger feeling real cozy. Then when they hit me, I start on this opus. Marvin serving the crack. Go to my notes, start writing this track. I'm playing the beat and repeat on the speakers, the bass in the back. Compete with the pack, the pace of attack. I keep his attack. It really could go from a flurry to comb in a hurry. I'm tired as hell, my vision is blurry. Me and his thrash like Mitchell and Murray. I cannot fuck with no Michelin stars until I see portions. If I throw hundreds on food and I'm not even full at the end, that shit is extortion. Asking the driver to hit the Portillo's, there's so many options. Needing assortment, send me a beat and I'm torching. Probably adding to your fame, adding to my fortune, yeah. Slide on the shorty who thicker than Florida air in the summer. She using my face as a chair. It's a bummer, we link so infrequently cause she a stunner. We bumper to bumper, I think she a bomber cause she keep a couple of them on her chest. In person they bigger than I would've guessed. The pics she sending me having me stressed. I'm surfing a wave, I'm making a crest, yeah. I'm the Black Kelly Slater, new triple lesser, they came in a freighter so heavy I steady been leaving these craters. I'm finally peaking the interest of playlist curators and industry foes. Most of them flaky but some of them dope. I'm grateful I don't gotta lean on them like when a nigga was broke.
What? Come here, girl. Bring your ass over here. Move it like you're low. 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 What? Just met this big booty freak. Finna take her home to the sheets. Ski, oh me. Get real deep, make her mess me. She said, but it's plastic, but I fucked around and made her hit high pitch. I'm a clown, hit home run. Outfield, I scream, Mariah, can you hear me? 2 hands, 2 palms, and I palmed it. Michael Jordan tongue out cause I'm scoring. Now, bitch, give me a ring, that booty on swole. Got my leg on bling, laid her ass down, then I fell in her wop. Got it on top, Boy, you heard what's that? Wow, 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 wow. She skated, now we both resting. Come on, bitch, move it like jello. Come on now. Move it like jello. Move it like jello. Move it like jello. Move it like jello. Ah, move it like jello. Move it like jello. Move it like jello. Move it like jello. Ah, move it like jello. Move it like jello. Move it like jello. Move it like jello. Ah, move it like jello. Move it like jello. Move it like jello. Move it like jello. What? Where the new girl at? Gotta find her, collect 6ix9ine, that's how I dial up. Had that pussy sign a contract, if she edible, I wanna have a thunderstorm. Had that pussy wet and slow, wind to the beat. Label that pussy fragile, knee deep. Slip and slide in your water park. Go real fast as you tryna find a grip. Make this last forever, bust it open real quick. Promise you won't fall. Under her skirt, she got meals on wheels. Ready for dessert, drinking on her juices like it's pretty and short. I need that vitamin P. Ski on her sheets like 40 hours a week. Back at the club when I call, you better pick up, staying on my mind. Now I can't give it up, she my seed diver. Move it like jello, move it like jello, move it like jello, move it like jello, ah, move it like jello, move it like jello, move it like jello, move it like jello, ah, move it like jello, move it like jello, move it like jello, move it like jello, ah, move it like jello, move it like jello, move it like jello, move it like jello, what?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Dragon Sports Live. And we're back. Back like we left something behind. Back like never before. Just back in general, but it is an exciting show. Welcome. And if, like I said before, you can catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts, we are there. So, let's get right into it. MLB, we had some shakeups, but what better way to start with? Yeah, let's start that day off right. So, we had a big trade. Well, yeah. I ain't gonna say big trade. We had more people moving away from Chicago, like that 2016 World Series team. People are moving away. So, like, Kyle Schwarber, he signs with the Nationals on a 1-year deal, $10 million, and he joins his former coach. Actually, he was with the Cubs in 2015 to 2017, Davey Martinez. So we get to rejoin him at the Nationals. But again, so the only thing that's left is what's going to happen to Chris Bryant, Baez, or Rizzo. So far, we have been having teams that's interested in taking, that's interested in Chris Bryant. So we'll see what's going to happen over there. But in other news, you know, on the other side of town, on the south side, see, and people always look at me and say, which side of town you represent? I represent Chicago, so I represent both sides. I was right in the middle, smack dab in the middle. So I come in with half Cubs and half Sox. But on the Sox side, they signed Lamb Hendricks from the A's. So that's a good pickup for them. That's also a big trade for them. Lamb Hendricks is actually a pretty good player to have for the Cubs, especially with a young core that was rookie of the year potential and stuff like that. Lamb Hendricks is a good pickup for the Sox, especially at that position. So that is a good pickup. On top of that, oh wow, I see blur happening. Oh, there we go. Hi, I'm straight again, but we got other things that happen. New York Yankees get outfielder Greg Allen from the Padres for lefty James Reeves, and Boston Red Sox coach Bianca Smith, who's the first female black woman to coach, wants to be a manager. She wants to be the skipper one day, and she want to be an inspiration to other women, which women taking over. If y'all haven't realized, women is taking over. I don't mind it. I like seeing women in position like that. So I don't mind that at all. I truly don't mind that. But it is what it is. Definitely what it is. I'm excited for this season. I'm excited because these Padres has actually been very active during this this off season. But not only that, the Nets have been active. They get Francisco Lindor, who that was the first big major signing of this off season thus far. Well, Lamb Hendricks and then Francisco Lindor for the Mets. But that was the first biggest trade. That was the biggest trade of the Steve Cohen era since he took over and bought the team. So, big ups to him on that. Continue to make y'all moves. Hopefully, the Chicago baseball teams continue to get better and to continue to strive and not be on this reset. And hopefully, the Cubs team still looks to be pretty good. Hopefully, all these prospects we get are pretty good. That's another thing. Just got to be hopeful. Ain't nothing to do it but be hopeful, guys. Ain't nothing to do it at all. Just got to be hopeful. So, it is what it is. I just want them to be better. Anyways, before I start ranting about random stuff, how's everybody's doing? If y'all feeling good, drop a comment inside the box if you're on Facebook Live. And then if you're not on Facebook Live, you can always catch Dragon Sports Live on YouTube at DONPE1. That's where you can catch Dragon Sports Live at. So, join me there. I'll be there. Subscribe. Hit the bell. And if you don't have none of those, check us out on Spotify, iHeart, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in Dragon Sports Live. I'll pop right up. I try to make it easier for you guys as well as easy on myself. So when I listen back to my own show, I can easily go right into it. But yeah, check it out. We did have Baez, not Javi Baez, but Pedro Baez reached a 2-year deal with the Houston Astros. So he was originally a Dodger, now he's a Astro. Welcome. Let's see what you can do. It's a lot of pitchers been getting, like I said last week, a lot of pitchers been getting 1 or 2 year deals, and maybe here and there. So it's like, okay, it is what it is. Sorry, my computer was freezing up on me, guys. But I figured out the situation. It's called just close out some things that you don't need open. Especially when you got a laptop, 2 iPads, and a phone. You can pull up those other things on that phone, which is what I'm doing right now. So, yeah. Y'all know what it is. Now, here's also another. We also get general managers, well, CEOs getting extension. So Mark Shapiro, he gets a 5-year extension as the Toronto Blue Jays CEO. Congrats to him on that. As well as more moves, more power. And let's see what happens when the season starts later down the line. And Detroit Tigers and Fulmer avoids arbitration with a deal, $3.1 million deal. So a lot of teams trying to avoid the arbitration because that gives that player opportunity to basically go to court for a new contract, basically, and try to get more money, or if they feel the contract is too much or too big, that arbitration is the best way to go. So, yep. And then pitcher Corey hosts the ballpen session. He shows he's healthy after 2 lost seasons. Cause he had what is it, Tommy John surgery? Right? And then a strain. So he just proves that he can still do his thing after he lost 2 seasons. And, you know, you got to get better. You got to better yourself. You got to do it with flair. So, and that's the best way to do it. Work your way, work hard, and never give up. Keep striving for your goals. Keep going till you succeed. And, yeah. But yeah, now I do got a lot more music for you guys here on Dragon Sports Live. So let's take a quick break because I'm gonna grab some water. I'm gonna brush my head some more, and yeah, we gonna relax. We gonna give y'all some more music here on Dragon Sports Live. So without further ado, why don't y'all check out the young man named Cole Beasley here on Dragon Sports Live. Yes, the football player. I said it, Cole Beasley.
Say hello to Mr. Slept On. Early mornings, I ain't slept long. Big headed, so I'm headstrong. Had to be just to be headed to where I was going, like my head gone. They said I'm crazy, but I told them all that it's no biggie, but you're dead wrong. I'm the wrong one to be swept off up under the rug. Patience of a wondrous slug to come from the mud and get y'all up off me. Flowing circles round them like drawstrings. Overheads get moss reach. For the stars I was taught dream. Never stop, eat, wreak havoc like have a mob deep. You ain't talking money, then you've lost me. I'm saving all it for my offspring. Can't snatch a necklace up off me, cause I don't have one. Spent that on college funds for both my sons, but it's 4 accounts, accounting for another 2 that's yet to come. Yes, I have enough, they can have some. Competition, yeah, I have some. When you don't look the part, yeah, you have to. When you do, opportunities stack up like the odds against me. I just have one opportune moment, but that's all I need, cause I own it. Seize it like I see. So cold like ices, and I'm just chilling like IVs. I don't have to try, come and try me. This is effortless like when eyes blink. Smooth like ice rinks, and I ain't reached my peak. Just a chance to be a rapper, and the future is what I'll be. Labels all gonna wanna sign me. Cold Nation Records first signee. Independent labeled owned by me. So I'm taking like I'm Liam Neeson's daughter, but by me. I'm bossed out, but Sunday Jerry's boss now. When I ball out, I'm a dog when dad get the ball out. Put a sauce out, put a sauce on him, that's too much. Good wife, that's too clutch. Without a backbone, you can't do much. Making moves like food trucks, getting to the bread till it's chewed up. And my bank accounts look juiced up. Who knew, huh? White dude rapping too tough while I sued up. White and glued up, silver shoes stuck, get loose touch. Now got all of the crowd reaching on down, cleaning they shoes up. Man, and back when I remember them telling me to end this vision in my medulla. Now they telling me that athletes that's rapping can't do much. Gotta go harder, it's too much, all cause of stigma. I reply with this first enigma. Gotta listen back just to learn the picture. My first description, take the earth to spin before the verse can hit them. I'm the first with skin of what's against what's in of us rap elites. But actually, it only took one to revert the system. Get 'em, look at how I curve the rhythm. Just squirting venom like a nervous cobra with no one you know if that's working with them. Still I blow it fast, know I'm worth it when my cursive written, read and then blurted. Sitting them with neurotransmitters in my nervous system. Flip your system, resuscitate. Making moves like food trucks, getting to the bread till it's chewed up. And my bank accounts look juiced up. Making moves like food trucks, getting to the bread till it's chewed up. And my bank accounts look juiced up. Making moves like food trucks, getting to the bread till it's chewed up. And my bank accounts look juiced up. Making moves like food trucks, getting to the bread till it's chewed up. And my bank accounts look juiced up.
Okay, a little bit hard to try to control that. At the same time, try to time it right. I was trying to be all fancy and do something extra with it, but it didn't just work out right. So I'm sorry. Try to be little fancy. But, ladies and gentlemen, that was Cole Beasley, the football player. Y'all hear him. But, and that's actually a good segue, because if you're just tuning in, this is Dragon Sports Live, and I'm Dante Payne, and you just tuned in right into the best part of the season, what's going on. NFL. We're in our playoffs. We just had I'm playing, but they just finished up the wild card weekend, so now we on to the divisional rounds, which we got some pretty interesting matchups. But before I get into all that matchup, how about we give y'all some news of what's going on around the NFL? And let's start out by saying the New York Giants, are planning on keeping David Gettleman. They have given him a nice extension. So they're keeping Gettleman around. Nice. On top of that, we had a couple coordinators. Dolphins offensive coordinator Chan Galley resigns. And it was either you resign or you got fired. And I felt like you was about to get fired. It was just a hunch. I felt like you was about to be on your way out. So the simple fact that you just resigned is because, honestly, in my opinion, the offense was looking good towards the latter part of the season, but then it kind of just trickled down and down and down to the point where you had to bench Tua to bring Fitzmagic in, and then you was without Fitzmagic, so you couldn't bring it in, so you keep Tua in the whole entire time. So it just was like, oh boy, with that. But anyways, so that was that. That was what was happening with that. On top of that, the future is not looking so bright for Tua there. He may be traded, and he may not. But we shall see come the offseason, come doomsday, or whatever you call it. We shall see what's going on there. We should see, we should just see what's going on. We'll see what happens. Oop. I jumped down too far. Hold on. Up. And then, we had Katie Soares, first female coach to coach will not return. Because, she was first coach to coach in the Super Bowl. Yeah, she will not return with the 49ers. And she was on the same side because I didn't know they had Wes Welker, who used to play for the Patriots, as their wide receivers coach. So she was helping out the wide receiver coaches, but she will not return. But she hopes going forward that other women will step up and go in. And that does not mean that her dream is over with. It just means she's just stepping away from that particular team. So she may get another job, but she hopes to be a head coach. So, everybody has aspirations and dreams. And the best way to do is follow your dreams. Don't let your dreams chase you. Chase your dreams. So, if you can. I know some circumstances you can't really do that, but chase your dreams the best way you can. I see random symbols on my iPad, so it was just like weird. But moving on. Now, let's go to Philly, the city of brotherly love. So, major shakeup there. So not only is the offensive coordinator gone, the defensive coordinator gone, but Doug Peterson is gone as well. He basically fired everybody else, hoping that was going to change the way that the owners feel. Had a meeting with them, and they let him go too. So he literally let go senior offensive assistant Rich Scalarello, senior offensive consultant Marty Morenwig, and defensive coordinator Jim Sports. Let them all go. They parted ways. But on top of that, the owner parted ways with him. They also let go Mike Graw and receivers coach Carson Welch. So they're all gone. That only people that I think are still there is the special teams coach and the tight ends coach and linebackers coach. But as far as defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, and head coach, gone. And it was just a sad end to that season. Like, I figured he was going to be gone after, especially in that last game where you benched Jalen Hurts to bring in Nick Solfield into the game. Now, brother did play, but Jalen Hurts was your best option. He may not have been passing it all of that great, but he damn sure was running the ball great. And he was moving the ball little by little, but he still was keeping them in the game. The game got out of hand when y'all brought Nick Schofield in there. Hence why you got the matchups that we got today. So, I didn't like that move. A lot of people didn't like that move. They were saying you should have kept Hurts in the game. But it is what it is. It happened. So, you just got to deal with it. Just got to suck it up. You probably will get hired somewhere else. Maybe not as a head coach, but maybe as a coordinator or a consultant or whatever. But you would get hired again. So, it ain't the end of the world for you, Doug Peterson. But now I really want to know what's going to happen in that QB room over there in Philly. Where is y'all going to trade Wentz? Are y'all going to draft another quarterback? Or y'all going to let Hurts stay being the starter? Now, that's the questions that we'll have to figure out. And we won't know until the offseason, guys. So, I'll have insights on that when that gets closer. You dig. All right, you dig. Okay. But, yeah, that was that. And former Washington football team, WFT, Dwayne Haskins, visits the Carolina Panthers. He's still, even though he's like, he's still got a young career ahead of him, and he may be able to pick up the chains. But you got to be serious. You got to give us like how you was when you was in college. We need that mentality. We need that back. You threw 50 touchdowns in college, so you need to have that mentality, but you need to amplify it times 2. You need to work hard, and that would be my advice to you on that. That's all I got to say on that. Cowboys defensive role leads to Mike Nolan being fired and Jim Tomasula being let go as well. But because of that let go, they're going to bring in former Falcons quarterback who was fired at the beginning of the season, Dan Quinn. They're going to bring him over, and hopefully he can fix the defense. He was a good defensive coach. He has experience, but just don't bring the curse with you. No offense to you. Don't bring that curse with you to the Cowboys. They don't play that. So, that's that. I'm sorry, I was looking at the NBA game, and that score is 102 to 86 with the Brooklyn Nets. Talk more about them in a second when we get down to our NBA. But yes, we did have some good news I guess it's good news for Chicago Bears. I actually like them, but the Bears will retain Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace for the 21 season, but they did not get contract extensions. But they will retain them for the 21 season, but no contract extensions. It's more like we'll see what this season goes. But when the owners and the owners' children pop up and talking about we need to fix our quarterback room, they're not going to bring back Trubisky this year, so he will be a free agent. He's now a free agent, or whenever the league year comes around again, he's a free agent. On top of that, Chuck Pagano is retiring after 19 years in the league, or 19 seasons, however you want to say it. he was the defensive coordinator for the past 2 seasons for the Bears, and then former head coach for the Indianapolis Colts. So he announced his retirement, which means our defensive coordinator position is now open. Hopefully, we find someone that's going to bring that Monsters of Midway back. So, stick to our Bears' roots in defense, and then hopefully we get better on offense, get a better offensive line so we can protect our quarterback better, and then actually get a quarterback. So far as quarterbacks, Nick Foles is the only one that's on contract, so he might be the starter next year. But we shall see. But it'll depend on if he can get his game right. Like, to me, Nick Foles, and I've been saying this before, that Nick Foles is one of those quarterbacks that you bring in mid-game and just bring him in at halftime and let him go to work that way. He's not a quarterback that can start the whole game. At least in my opinion. It's always been he came and been Captain America and saving people and stuff like that. Or whatever superhero you want him to be. But, yeah, not to start the whole game. So, let's see what they do with that. And then we had, so if y'all was looking at the wild card weekend, it was a very wild weekend. It was some close games, and it was some tough games. I'm going to start by talking about the Titans and Ravens, which was a rematch of last year's playoff matchup. So last year, the Titans won. This year, the Ravens won. But on top of that, Lamar Jackson gets his first playoff win in a close one that was 20-13. And they literally run the ball pretty much down the throats, a couple pass plays, but the Ravens defense prevailed and held Henry under 100 yards. Whew! Yeah, under 100 yards rushing. So that was, that was good for them. And like I said, first win for Lamar, first playoff win. Let me rephrase that. First playoff win for Lamar Jackson, but their next game, they had got snow out there. I'll give you guys the matchups because I kind of forgot who was going what, because there was so many different scenarios. Like, if this team win, they go against this team. If that team win, they go against this team. So it was just like, I didn't really know what to do or how to go about doing that. So I'll give you those scenarios and those matchups coming up this week, because that is this weekend for wild card. If you game, watch the game, because I'm really gonna be watching. I'm gonna be watching the game myself. So if you game, watch the game. But yeah, we have a lot of key matchups. So that was that. That was first win for Lamar. The Browns beat the Steelers 48-37, and the Browns basically had the Steelers number from the start of the game. When you fumbled the ball on the first snap, you knew the Browns had it. But this is their first playoff win since 1994. So that's good for the Browns as well. And that was, like I said, that was their first win. Tampa Bay gets their first win since 2002. And they also get back Devin White, who's a big part of their defense, and Steve McClendon back from the COVID list. So, and like I said, the matchups this week is a little bit crazy. So we got at the Rams against Green Bay. Some people were picking the Rams to win, but I think I'm picking Green Bay to win because Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, and Aaron Jones and Lazard, just to name a few of the people that Aaron Rodgers likes to go to. It should be a pretty good game, especially because the Rams are pretty banged up, and Green Bay is going to be at home, where I think they probably got snow as well. I'll check that forecast. I would tweet about it on my social media. And if you're not following me on social media, follow me at Dragon Jump Pro on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And then check out our YouTube and subscribe and hit the bell so you can get all of our notifications. That's www.youtube.com/DONPE1, or you can just type in DONPE1 on the YouTube search. And then check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts. And that's the best way to say that. In another note, Broncos reached a deal with I'm trying to make sure I got his name right, so excuse me, bear with me for 1 second. But Elway is basically going to be the president of operation personnel, but they're hiring Minnesota Vikings George Patton to be general manager, who will report to Elway. So they're hiring a GM because Elway was doing both. So now they have a GM, and then Elway will stick to doing just the CEO and president stuff, or the high executive stuff. But they are doing that. And then we got Baltimore versus Buffalo, which is going to be also a good game. These are your Saturday games. So the Rams and Green Bay is your first game. Then the second game, the late night game, is Buffalo and Baltimore, which I think would be pretty good games. On the plus side, I think it's going to be a good game for Josh Allen. And also, it would really depend on the weather. It may be one of those snowy games like that Patriots game a few years back, or that Giants game a few years back, where nobody can get the ball, or it was just a lot of running. So, and it's Lamar Jackson's first time in the snow, in elements like that. So he never really got a chance to deal with that, but now he gets to deal with that. So we shall see. We shall see. Now for Sunday matchups, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints. Old head versus old head. Drew Brees versus Tom Brady. And the first two times, the Saints wiped the floor with them. Well, I should say the Saints barely won that first game. Second game, wiped the floor with them. Let's see how this time around, especially when you got playoff Tom and playoff Breeze. So let's see how this turn around. And then we also got Cleveland, Kansas City. Most definitely, people going to be riding with Kansas City in that. But some people are going to take the underdogs because the Browns are hungry. And it'll be weird. But we got teams other than the Patriots in this year. And it shows that Tom Brady is the one who gathered that team. Like, basically, Belichick's not in the playoffs, but Tom Brady is. A lot of people going to look at that a certain way, but, it is what it is. And that, let's check it out. But I'm riding with the Saints in that game, and then the Chiefs in the Browns game. I think I'm going to go with the Buffalo in the Ravens game, and Green Bay in the Rams game. So those are my picks. Y'all can hit me up on Instagram, social media, Facebook, Twitter, and let me know what y'all think, what it is. I will try my best to respond to those. Most definitely in all fronts of life and everything that we do. So, check it out. Now, I'm going to give y'all a little bit more music because it's a little bit hot in here. And when you sit next to a projector, you got to kind of step away from that projector. Oh, yeah, we also got the latest single from Lamar Creation as well coming up, too. and that's actually coming up now here on Dragon Sports Live. So check it out. Lamar Creation featuring Aaron Gunn, and it's called Flexing. So I want y'all to check it out. Go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and check them out.
Got no love for my exes. Got no love for them hoes. For my exes.
Yeah, it's just me and my crew. Flexing on my exes. Do what we do. Yeah, flexing on my exes. Feel the tension in the room. Flex on me, I flex on you. When I see you, baby, that's what I'm gon' do. When I dab, give me room. Flexing on my exes. I got no love for my exes.
Now I'm getting brain while on the jet. No cap, I ain't gotta flex. I ain't never entertaining you. I mess up, I still blame you. Gone now, you gone now. Bet you missed the nights you had on the phone now. Bet you missed the nights you smell my cologne now. Wishing you could see the shit that I'm on now. On my MJ 1991, you can't even dust this. On my MC Hammer 1990 ho, you can't even touch this. Fuck your little ass in the back of the car. Send that ass back to the bar. Oh shit, that was a bar. I'm on this bitch with Lamar. Turn this shit up, it go hard. I'm not trying to waste my energy.
I'm not trying to waste no energy.
So don't be stalking at my VIP.
Stalking.
I've been drinking too much Hennessy.
I've been drinking too much Hennessy.
So I can't get no hoe, no empathy.
It's just me and my crew.
It's just me and my crew.
Flexing on my exes.
Yeah, you know that's what we do.
Do what we do.
You blocking me, I block you too.
Flexing on my exes.
You flex on me, I flex on you.
Feel the tension in the room. Flex on me, I flex on you. When I see you, baby, that's what I'm gon' do. When I dab, give me room. Flexing on my exes. I got no love for my ex. I got no love for my ex. I got no love for that hoe. I got love for her friend. Yeah, baby, I do. She get to twerking, jerking, her body perfect. I love that ass. When she bounce it up and down, goddamn, I think I love her. But not when you did it though. Found out that you been a hoe. You was supposed to be wifey though. Goddamn, you're bad. How you do a nigga like that? So many times, girl, I done tried. So sick and tired of feeding your lies. I cannot even say that I'm surprised. From the beginning, but reading the signs. Couple bad bitches on my side. Yeah. Gang, you know it's a vibe, yeah. I could care less how she feeling inside. We gon' turn up till the morning arrive. Know it's always bitches on my line, yeah.
You looking kinda good today. Let me talk to you for a minute. No? That's why I'm flexing on you and your nigga, bitch.
It's just me and my crew.
It's just me and my crew.
Flexing on my exes.
Yeah, you know that's what we do.
Do what we do.
You blocking me, I block you too.
Flexing on my exes.
You flex on me, I flex on you.
Feel the tension in the room. Flex on me, I flex on you. When I see you, baby, that's what I'm gon' do. When I dab, give me room. Flexing on my exes. I got no love for my exes.
Flex.
Baby, you know what I'm thinking. So slide your hips this way and grab a bottle. Let's keep drinking. We got time, it's not too late. And you just go along, getting down in your skin tight dress. And when they play your favorite song on the floor, oh, yes, I want it. Gotta have it. Do you need it? What's it to you? You're a hotness. atmosphere intensified. And I play the games you play, and you just go along. Oh, get down in the skin tight dress while they play your favorite song. Yes, I want it, gotta have it. Do you need it? What's it to you? You're a hot mess. Baby, what you gonna do? Yes, I want it, gotta have it. Do you need it? What's it to you? You're a hot mess. Baby, what you gonna do? Baby, what you gonna do? Oh, oh, I wanna know, yeah. Baby, tell me what you gonna do. Oh, yes, I want it, gotta have it. Do you need it? What's it to you? You're a hot mess. Baby, what you gonna do? Ooh, yes, I want it, gotta have it. Do you need it? What's it to you? You're a hot mess. Baby, what you gonna do?
Welcome back. If you're tuning in, this is Dragon Sports Live, and I'm Dante Payne, your host for the evening. That last song you heard was called Hot Mess by Ross Augustus, which is another good segue. Not even trying to do that, it just happened. You know, it just happens that way. Like, I'm just playing the music and it just happens that way, and yeah, wasn't even trying to do that at all. Just so happened I planned it out that way. I just hit play and that was the song was there. But anyway, it is a hot mess, especially in Houston. Houston has a big hot mess. Well, they got rid of a hot mess because in a 4-team trade, and it was the first blockbuster trade of the season, Houston Rocket trades James Harden to the Brooklyn Nets. And like I said, it was a 4-team mega deal because they weren't going. The only way you was going to get that trade to happen if you had help, and try to get that trade to happen at the beginning of the season didn't work. So the only way for that trade was to happen was at the beginning of the season. Ooh, my face is shiny. Woo, okay. Don't mind the shine, but it's all good. But yes, that they needed that help to get that. So this trade, so basically the Nets sent Houston Carlos LeVert, who they originally was then traded to the Pacers for Victor Oladipo. So now you're gonna have John Wall, Oladipo, Cousins, Covington? Yeah, Covington. And I'll look at that starting lineup. I'll let y'all know what that potential starting lineup would be like. But then you also get center Jerry Allen and Taurean Prince headed to the Cavs, while the Rockets receive guard Dante Exum and Rodon's Krukutz, the Brooklyn Fort. On top of that, Houston receives Brooklyn's 3 unprotected first round picks. Draft pick in the deal. So that's the 22, 24, and 26. Plus pick swaps in 21, 23, 25, and 27. The Rockets also got Cleveland's 22 first round pick via the Milwaukee Bucks, and Houston is sending a 2023 second round pick to the Pacers. And then Brooklyn also gets a 24 second round pick from the Cavaliers. The Nets have opened up 3 roster spots to fill out their bench. So if they choose a $5.7 million tax mid-level, the minimum exception is and likely a 5.7 disabled player exception. This deal reunites Harden with former Oklahoma City Thunder teammate Kevin Durant, who, by the way, is playing right now against the New York Knicks. New York Knicks. And they're actually, that game is now over with. That game ends 116 to 109 in that game. But you also have Kyrie Irving, who, that's another mess. So you get basically 2 messes in Brooklyn now. But now, since that trade happens, depending on whenever Kyrie returns, they're got the Nets as a potential contender. Because you get another player, a good player, doesn't necessarily mean you're a contender. It also means, but let's see if he play defense more. I give you that. He can shoot, he can dribble, he can play ball, but we need a little bit more defense out of you. Not no behind the back still. I mean, in your face defense. Don't, if you get rocked or if you get left behind, don't give up on the play. Unless it's like, it's, untainable. So, kind of want to see what that lineup is looking like now, ever since that trade. And they may have not updated yet, but let's check that out. Because, like I said, that was a blockbuster trade, 4-team trade. Because I felt like in order for that trade to happen from the get-go, the league would have denied it like they did a couple years ago. So, yeah, we look at, so their potential starting lineup for the Nets: Kyrie Irving, who's out for personal reason and may be out longer; James Harden as a shooting guard; Joe Harris as small forward; and then Kevin Durant as the as the forward, and DeAndre Jordan as the 4. That's actually a pretty decent lineup. Not. Because you got all shooters, except the exception of Jordan, but you can always swap in Jeff Green for that and put him in, then you can have a shooting squad. So I can see that happening. That's the squad. I call that. If y'all see it, I called it first. You heard me. Dante called it first on Dragon Sports Live. So if y'all see that, but with that trade happening, we're going to go to the other side. We're going to go to the Rockets side. Cousins called it that disrespectful. John Wall not liking it. And it was like, yeah. And this is just after the game. Cousins got obliterated. This is after they got destroyed by the Lakers, by the way, too. With LeBron hitting threes in people's faces and then turn around looking at his teammates. So this is happening in that. But the potential starting for Houston Rockets after the trade, it'll be John Wall, Victor Oladipo, Daniel House, P.J. Tucker, Christian Wood. And then Cousins coming off the bench, as well as Eric Gordon and P.J. Tucker. Well, wait, P.J. Tucker in the starting lineup. So that's what's going on with that ordeal, with that joint. And then we had 3 games postponed due to COVID. The Hawks and Suns is one of those games. Washington Detroit game was postponed. So, a couple postponements. It's happening. It's going to happen a lot during the season, especially during what we're playing to these tough, ridiculous times. We did have fellow the Porzing is back, and he's actually going to make his debut tonight, this Wednesday. And he will be on an undisclosed amount of minute restriction. He returns from October 3rd to address a lateral meniscus injury that he had, so he will suit up. And what interesting matchups that we had this past week was the ball versus ball. Who was the better ball? And looking at that game, I clearly see that LaMelo is the better baller. He was passing the ball. He was bad. He finished that game with 12 points. And then cap out the next night, he ended up getting a triple-double, becoming the youngest person to get a triple-double at age 19. So he was making history then. He was in the works. He was doing what he do. But he lived up to his potential, showing why I think he's the better ball. Otto only finished up with 5 points, but he's definitely a better passer than his brother. And I can see that just from watching that game. Maybe because it was like brotherly love, but no, LaMelo is actually the better baller. His shot was more consistent, more fluent. So he's the better brother. Even though we have Gordon Hayward putting up career numbers, career highs, 44 points is his career high this season in playing for Charlotte. It's good to see him doing that. Like I said, he left with no hard feelings towards the Celtics. He just wanted to change, and he got that. And Charlotte originally wanted Gordon Hayward, so he got a nice little lineup thing. Like Jordan and his coaching staff got a nice little thing going with the lineup that they got moving going forward. Eagles Iron Man streak came to an end. He basically played 384 games without missing a game. So that streak ended. But that just shows how strong of a man he is and how he is. Now, we did have some key injuries. Magic lose Markellus Fultz. He's done for the season with a torn ACL. And if you guys seen the video, I was like, ugh. Because I seen his knee like buckle, and I seen when he tore it, he just went down. That's why I was like, oh. Hawks Bogdanovic, he suffers a fractured right knee. And, yeah. And then what's going on with our Chicago Bulls? Like, I understand that we're still trying to find the right rotations, our rotation, and we're still getting used to new coaching staff. But so far, they're 4-7, and they're not bad. But you got Zach LaVine putting up great numbers, and Cody White stepping up 23 points a game. Zach LaVine with 28. So the duo's looking good. We'll have Marketing and a couple other people back from injury soon. But it's a long season, and I give the Bulls props because they're actually improving. They're looking better each game that I watch, especially when you lost a close one to both LA teams, both the Lakers and Clippers. You lost by a possession. So I give y'all props, and that y'all continue to grow, continue to get better, show us, and hopefully we'll get Maybe we can make a trade and get somebody, bring somebody here, but continue to show us. The Connecticut Sun extends Kurt Miller coaching GM to another 4 years. And that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. Tune with us next week as you listen to Dragon Sports Live. Now, this is a show that gives you music. We give you some sports news. We'll give you some commentary. The partner in crime will be back next week. She was just tired, so she had to take a break. She on vacation. Let her relax. But, tune into Dragon Sports Live next week. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be a good show. Going to let y'all know what's going on with these divisional playoff games and more news that we figure out as we go. So, rock with us. And, like I said, I will catch you guys next week on Dragon Sports Live when I just realized that my main screen wasn't on the whole entire time. But, yes, tune with us next week as we rock with Dragon Sports Live. I'm Dante Payne, and I'm signing off for the day. But make sure y'all check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts from. All right, you did.